repealing the Public Finance Management Act, sections 191A, 191B, 191C, 191D, 191E. And these sections currently mandate the National Treasury. Repealing. No, the sections.
Order, Honorable Meli and leader. Proceed procedurally.
Honorable Speaker, allow me to take that again so that Honorable Meli may understand. I said it's an amendment bill that seeks to amend by repealing certain sections of the Public Finance Management Act, those sections 191A, B, C, D, and E, which mandated the National Treasury to enter into standalone agreements with intergovernmental agreements for each and every conditional allocation that they get. And therefore, it created some sort of bureaucratic duplication, because before the National Treasury comes to sign these intergovernmental agreements with the counties, they'll have signed either county participatory agreements or intergovernmental participation and partnership agreements with individual line ministries, and therefore it becomes a duplication. And this has created a lot of bureaucracy that has slowed down the implementation of projects at the county government level. And that is why you find every time we pass the additional county allocations bill, at the end of the financial year, counties are complaining that they have not been able to expend the monies that we had given them under the Conditional Allocations Act after we pass the bills, because they are forced to then have to sign new agreements with the National Treasury. Those agreements have to go through the entire process of public participation again. They had done that before, go through county assembly approvals, and that bureaucracy then has hindered the effective and efficient implementation of projects at the county government level. So this bill seeks not only to support devolution, but also to ensure that there is proper utilization of the resources that we give to our counties under the conditional, conditional allocations to our counties. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, as I said, it is a very short bill, and all the stakeholders, because the Committee on Finance went through extensive public participation, engaged with a number of stakeholders, and those who have read the report that Honorable Kimani Kuria tabled here some time back will notice that from that, the engagements through public participation, all the stakeholders, whether it's the Council of Governors, the Commission for Revenue Allocation, the National Treasury, and indeed even individual members of the public, were in strong support of this amendment bill, because it is enhancing the efficiency with which we are able to implement projects at the county level. And the quicker the projects are implemented at the county level, the greater services and goods get to the people, whether it is conditional allocations that touch on healthcare, whether it is conditional allocations that touch on water. These are issues that are very sensitive to the people who are being served at the county level of government. And therefore, all the stakeholders are in support of this amendment. I do not see in the report any concerns by members of the public or any of the other stakeholders as to the repeal of these particular sections. And if you look at clauses 4, 5, and 6, that is repealing sections 191C, D, and E, this is dissolving the secondary procedure requirements for gazettement, Senate submissions, and specific control of budget funding requisitions linked to these repetitive agreements. Because again, just like I said, the bureaucratic and repetitive work that you had to do at the county assembly level, you also required to have the same agreements go through procedural gazettement and go through Senate submissions again, and the whole process is repeated again, and therefore it becomes too cumbersome in terms of implementation of this conditional allocations to our county governments. Honorable Speaker, let me finish by assuring the House and indeed the country that these changes to the PFM Act do not in any way interfere or undermine the oversight role or the oversight mechanisms or the constitutional, any of the constitutional safeguards that have been put in place. None of either the oversight role of the county assemblies or the oversight role of the Senate or indeed this House, or even the constitutional safeguards that have been put in place are being compromised by these changes. And therefore, even if you are thinking about the control of budget, that safeguard will still be there, because all the annual county government's additional allocations will still continue to be regulated, and the controller of budget will retain full oversight over all these funds. And therefore, no amount of money, whether it is directly from the Division of Revenue Act or even money that has come under these additional conditional allocations, can be withdrawn from the County Revenue Fund under Article 228 of the Constitution without the explicit approval of the Comptroller of Budget. And that's why I said no constitutional safeguard in terms of the workings of the Office of the Comptroller of Budget is being compromised in any way. And also the oversight role, both the county assemblies, they will still have to approve, to go through public participation on the intergovernmental partnership and cooperation agreements that are signed by the line ministries. So the only thing we are removing is the duplication now at the national treasury level, because the line ministries, national government line ministry, if it's an intergovernmental partnership agreement with the Ministry of Water and Irrigation or that of Health, that ministry belongs to the national government, and therefore doing the same thing over and over again with the national treasury is duplication. Finally, Honorable Speaker, allow me to take this opportunity to thank our Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning, which I said went through these amendments and took them through public participation, very extensive public participation, and put in a lot of work. And I know many of those members are now conducting public participation on the finance bill proposals, and we look forward to receiving their report. So allow me, in the absentia, to thank them for the work they have put in. This is one such committee amongst the committees I mentioned, which during the recess period has been very busy. I don't think there's a single day they have not sat throughout the 3 weeks of the long recess that we just came from, and I must thank them. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move, and I now wish to request the member for Tharaka, the Honorable Murugara, to second the motion.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise to second this bill, and by so doing, I fully associate myself with the speech of the Leader of Majority as regards what we are doing today to amend by repealing, that's what it is called, to amend by repealing the 5 sections of the PFM Act, which to some extent are actually a bottleneck to conditional funds going to county governments. The national government has always supported the county governments, and we do this through various laws, which laws are meant to safeguard funds that are going to county governments. They are utilized well for the benefit of the people, or our people, residing in the various counties. So today we remove some bottlenecks regarding conditional grants, where they have had to sign a second or third agreement with the Treasury once conditional grants are being issued. We remove this, and what do we expect in return? An efficient flow of money into the counties so that they are able also to timeously deliver to the citizens services that they are obligated to actually deliver. We may say this was a bottleneck, as a result of which there was a trickle-down effect. It was trickling down slowly by slowly because it was actually highly squeezed. We are removing it today. May we get reciprocal flow of funds into the counties, and we start seeing the services that are supposed to be delivered by counties being delivered on time, and also exactly to what these funds are meant for, because there is a hue and cry regarding our counties. We cannot go without saying it every now and then. that our governors, even through the press, are being accused of mismanaging funds that are going to counties. Pray and hope this is not going to be abused, because we have enough safeguards to actually sustain the oversight role of Parliament, including the Senate, when it comes to safeguarding these funds. So, Honorable Speaker, I wish to support and second this bill so that we can pass it and county governments can receive conditional allocations without these bottlenecks being a hindrance to them. I do beg to second.
Honorable members, I now propose the question that the public